Most people would call me crazy, but I've invested over $35,000 into mentorships at the age of 17. I just recently turned 18, but all of the mentorships that I've invested into, courses, programs, ebooks, all of that, I've spent over $35,000 into them. And the truth is, I got all of my results at this young of an age because of that. So today I'm gonna break down exactly why I did it, what I learned from spending all of this money into mentorships, what I actually learned inside of the mentorships, and I'm basically gonna leak all the sauce for you guys. You know, the do's and the don'ts of investing into mentorships, all of that, right? Because I've went through shitty programs, I've went through shitty courses, and I've also went in the best of the best mentorships, and that's also why I have one of the best mentorships, is because I've lived and I learned through all the mentorships that I've been in, and obviously the best information that I got from them, I put together on my own. When I first started cutting hair, I thought doing fades and doing the nicest, cleanest fades and posting before and after videos will get me to $10,000 a month, will get me best known in my city. And I realized really quick that it's not about who's best at haircuts, it's about who's best known, right? I was maybe pretty damn freaking good at cutting hair, but I was not known at all, right? And I had an epiphany moment when I realized that I saw other barbers around me doing so much better than me, income-wise, brand-wise. I had no personal brand. All of these barbers, especially younger than me, they were doing better than me. And I asked myself, why not me? And the moment I asked myself that and I got real with myself is I was really just lacking the information. I had the work ethic. I was willing to grind that shit out. I mean, I grew up playing sports when I was a kid, so I always had that competitive, energy when going into things. So I always wanted to be the best, but I was missing information, right? So back in 2023, after, a crazy fire had hit my house and hit my barbershop, everything burnt down. And that's when, I started to realize, okay, this is when I really got to take barbering serious, or do I just quit right here? And obviously I stuck with barbering. And on top of that, that's when I joined my first ever low ticket course community. Shout out Hakeem Hong. I was in his low ticket course. And I mean, it was really just course videos. He had group calls and I got a lot of value, right? And I would say this cheap community that I was in with him, I got more value from that than a mentorship that I paid over $10,000 in, right? So it's really just like, you wanna aim to get the bang for your buck, Anyways, this cheap community helped me scale in almost every aspect of my business. It really helped me realize that I was really missing the information. Once I got a hold of that information, I applied it to my business and I saw insane results from it, I went viral. I hit over 100,000 followers. I scaled my income. He also put together like a private inner circle before he actually launched his inner circle. He put together a small inner circle of like the best of the best barbers that was actually getting results inside of his, mini course, his low ticket. And obviously I was one of them and that helped a lot. Anyways, after that, I joined a ton more other mentorships. I don't want to say names because they definitely weren't the best, but they still helped. I still took the best of the best information that I learned from, these $1,000 mentorships and I put it together in my own, because my mindset behind investing into mentorships was simply, I want to get to point Z as fast as possible. I want to get to this destination as fast as possible. I could use my own information. I could maybe use AI, get there, but the time would take a pretty long time to actually get there, right? The distance, like the actual time to get there would take long. Number two, I wouldn't even know 100% if I could get there. With mentorships, especially the one-on-one inner circle mentorships that I'm about to, talk to you guys about, is that, they didn't give guarantees, but obviously they've done it for other people. On top of doing it for other people, they also, I believe in the mentor. Yeah, so my mindset behind investing into mentorship, a lot of people call it dumb. A lot of people are like, why would you ever do that? But the reason I'm able to live this crazy ass life at such a young age is because I've invested over, $35,000 into mentorships. And it was really just the knowledge that I have and the information that I have, not only to market myself, but run a business, how to, brand myself, all of that, So it's like you could pay for a shortcut to get all that information in one, or you could go figure it out on your own. Number two, when you figure it out on your own, you're simply wasting time and you don't even know if you're gonna get there. Number one, you're getting the information, you paid for it. With that information, you'll probably make more money even after investing. right? And a lot of people just don't understand that. And that's one of the best, once you actually attain that mindset, that abundant mindset is not letting money affect you, especially like when you invest into a mentorship, don't worry so much about the money, look more in ROI, right? That's the way I look at it, and that's the way every single client that I work with looks at a mentorship. Is like, you gotta look at return on investment. Is it worth paying someone $6,000 to make over $10,000 every single month now when you're making 3K? I would say so, right? 10K a month times 12, 120K, you subtract the 6K day that you spent to make that money, bro, you're still left with over 6 figures, right? So that's the mindset you guys gotta look at things. And obviously there's guarantees and whatnot. I offer guarantees. I want the best of the best results. And I'm confident in myself and I'm confident in what I do. So obviously I offer guarantees. Every single mentorship that I was in never offered a single guarantee. So technically for me, it was still a risk, but I still took the jump, right? And I do not regret it one single bit. Even though, and let me be real with you guys, every single mentorship was not good. I didn't technically get scammed, but I got told that I was gonna get, one-on-one calls with this guy. I told I was gonna be able to scale to 100K a month with my offer. I was told all of these crazy things, and the truth is I didn't get really anything that he told me, Right when I got put inside of this guy's mentorship, it was really a one-on-one chat with him, and then he had a client success manager, and the client success manager took over literally the whole conversation. He took over basically everything. He took over calls with me. I maybe had one-on-one call with like the main guy I was initially talking to. Again, I don't want to expose names. I feel like I'm just not that type of guy, but I do want to say the program was shit, right? It was just not what I thought it was. And I spent over $10,200 USD on it, right? I'll show you guys a clip right here. Pretty crazy. And I'll be honest though, as shit as the course was, I really got sold on a course where I just sat there and watched videos and they told me to watch this, and they told me to watch videos and, I asked questions. I never got answers. It's just like not mentorships. It's literally the definition of a course. And I spent over 5 figures on a course, right? But the truth is, as horrible as it was, I still got some information and I ran with it, and I still got something out of it. I'm always gonna look at the bright side. At the end of the day, I made that choice to make that decision. You can only point fingers so long. I made that decision. What I noticed though with most people and most clients is that they think that once they spend this money on a mentorship, all of their problems are solved. That is far from the truth. The truth is that once you're actually in the mentorship, that's when everything starts coming at you, Your problems are straight in front of your face. Everything's in front of your face and you need to be there. You need to be ready to fight and solve it, Because we're trying to move at a super fast rate, especially when you join a mentorship. The reason you're joining a mentorship is because you want to move at a fast rate. You want to get to your destination as fast as possible and you want guidance, right? You don't want to waste any more time doing it on your own. Maybe you've been trying to do it on your own forever. With me, it's like, dude, I wanted to scale to over 6 figures a month, right? But I would rather go with this mentor and get the guidance and save a lot of time and pay him. I've already made the money back, It's just like you got to separate yourself from the money that you're putting in and look at the return on investments that you're getting and the time you're saving. Time is money, right? You can always bring back that money that you spend, but never ever that time, right? But anyways, it's not about the mentorship as much. The mentorship is everything, right? Obviously the information has to be there, the guidance has to be there, but it's what you do with the information. Like I said, with the cheap community that I was in, the first one ever, I ran with the information I got. I was the best testimonial in there by far, right? I scaled to over $10,000, $12,000 a month. I went viral. I did all the things that everyone wants to do when they join. I had the same information as everybody else in that community. There was over 250 barbers in that community. I was the best testimonial. Why? Is because I put work in, I followed what was told, I asked questions, I got answers, and I implemented. I didn't just ask questions and sit there and watch course videos and lay back. I watched the videos and I applied it, right? So everyone can hate on a course. The ones that hate on a course are the ones who literally watch the videos and don't execute, right? It's the speed of execution is what really matters to get that result that you want. So here are the 3 most important things I learned when investing over $35,000 into mentorships at the age of 18. I just turned 18. I actually invested all of that money when I was 17, so even younger. Number 1, information doesn't mean anything without execution. What this means is that, like I just told you guys, I spent, I was in a cheap community of barbers and I really got all the information I needed. Everyone had the same information. Everyone had the same access to this guy, the mentor, right? But why was I the one that was able to get the best result inside? Was because I asked questions and I got answers. I implemented and I executed on the information that was there and I ran with it. Simple as that, right? So again, information doesn't mean jack shit without the execution, especially with speed, right? Proximity over knowledge. I chose, honestly, being around a community of barbers who were constantly crushing it and constantly wanted to scale. That pushed me more than the actual mentorship itself. Being in a community of absolute dogs and killers, that changed everything for me. Being around winners, you become a winner. It's simple as that. It's the same thing inside of my community, right? Again, mentorship isn't cost. You need to look at it with leverage. Mentorship is leverage. Mentorship saves you time and it saves you money in the end run, in the long run. Every mentorship gave me systems. It gave me stuff that I could use forever. You know, all of these skills that I attained, now I'm able to charge high ticket for my services. Not only that, but I loaded up so much information. That's why you see me doing these crazy things. I'm in Monaco right now at 18 years old, traveling the world with all of my boys because I attained all of this information that I spent my thousands of dollars on. And now I get to sell that information for, you know, a fraction of the price. But, you know, the money that I spent on these mentorships, I made back. And obviously, once I started applying everything, that's when everything changed. That's when I was able to scale to over $45,000 a month as a barber coach. Now I teach barbers how to scale their business in every single aspect, and I charge high ticket for it. And that's what made me that much money. To be completely transparent with you guys, most people don't talk numbers. And also before that, I was able to scale to over $15,000 to $17,000 a month in a tiny little island in Maui, Hawaii as a barber because I invested into my knowledge and my skill set. I didn't invest into little tools and barber clippers and trimmers anymore. I invested into my skill set to learn how to market myself, learn how to brand myself, learn how to raise my prices, learn how to do these things. And now with all that information, I get to teach it and pass it on to the next generation, right? So it's as simple as that. But at the end of the day, guys, I'm not here to charge you, you know, 5 figures for a damn freaking mentorship. And honestly, I decided to give out an A to Z blueprint, my entire free course that I would technically charge over $6,000 for. I am giving to you guys for completely free. My A to Z blueprint that's already helped over 200 barbers around the world scale their business in, you know, record months, scale their personal brand, scale really every aspect of, you know, their barbering business with this literal information, right? With the literal information that I give you guys. And I'm going to give it to you guys for completely free. I'm going to put it in the link in the description. All you got to do is fill out some information and you'll be put inside of this free course. Again, guys, it's a free course. It is not a mentorship. A lot of you guys need to understand the difference between a mentorship and a course. A course is where it's just a load of video modules where you get to learn X, Y, Z. A mentorship is where you get one-on-one implementation. That's where I actually charge big money for. This is where I actually work one-on-one with you. I give you a custom game plan. I'm basically hold your hand to the finish line. A course, you don't really get any of that, but you do get the information. So if you're willing to work your ass off, you will get results from this, you know, free course that I'm actually going to give you guys. And again, it's a course, right? I don't like to look at myself as a course seller. That's why I don't sell a course. I give it to you guys for free. And then, you know, when you guys start stacking money, maybe from that, you start seeing results from that and the information I give you there. From there, you guys can actually, you know, come into the inner circle when you're ready, right? There's no pressure. The biggest takeaway I want you guys to get from this is the faster you guys learn from someone who's already been in your shoes, someone who's already ran so you guys can walk, is the moment your life changes, because you're not going to have to worry about all these little mistakes. You're going to be able to avoid the little mistakes that I already made and that all these other coaches made, and it's constantly getting passed down to you, right? So you're saving a lot of time and you're only going in the right direction for obviously an investment. But today I'm going to give you guys my full free course for completely free. If you guys want it, just check out the link in the description. If you're ready to jump in the inner circle, you could totally book a call with me as well. Whatever it might be, wherever you're at. If you're an ambitious barber, I would choose either or. Again, if you want to scale really at a fast rate, obviously I'd recommend the mentorship where I actually work one-on-one. But mentorship beats courses all day, every day. It's not even close, right? With the mentorships that I've been in and the courses that I've been in, obviously the courses help because I got the information, but the mentorship where I actually got one-on-one implementation, my mentor did the same thing. He gave me so much free value on the front end, but the value, you know, obviously I could implement it and I could get results, but I'd rather this guy tell me exactly what I need to do right now in this moment with my current situation, my current bottlenecks, my current problems, and my current destination. Tell me exactly what I need to do in that exact moment, because that is exactly what mentorship is, and that's exactly how you scale at a very fast rate, right? So again, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a comment, you know, comment what you think, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next. I appreciate it. Peace.